Welcome back to Cooking with Coop. We've taken a pretty long break here, and by popular demand, we're coming back. I went to the ball game this weekend over in Starkville to watch my Bulldogs win, and while I was there, I went to my good friend Benji Nelson's tailgate. Benji's from Jackson, and he was cooking jambalaya, and it kind of inspired me. I said, you know, with this cool weather, it's time for me to cook some jambalaya. So what I'm going to do tonight, I'm going to cook what I call a one-pot jambalaya. You only have to use one pot. It's going to have some andouille sausage and some Cajun sausage. It's country pleasing sausage, the Cajun variety. And then I'm also got some Zatarain's andouille. We've diced some chicken. I bought the thin sliced breast chicken that I've diced. And then I have some nice Argentine shrimp here. We're going to saute those, get our jambalaya started. So when I get back, we'll have all these sauteed. I'll show you what we'll put in it, and we'll get this jambalaya rolling. Welcome back to Cooking with Coop. As I said when we left a minute ago, we are now sauteing the andouille, the sausage, and the chicken. We're using just a little bit of vegetable oil, probably about 4 teaspoons of vegetable oil. As that starts to get ready, and it's almost ready, what I do is then I'm cheating here, and I use the Holy Trinity. It's the onions, bell peppers, celery, and some spices in there. Actually, some parsley is mixed in. I buy this at the grocery store. This is just a bag of it. It's thawed. I'm going to add that to my mixture, and I'm going to let those cook down and start to, they don't actually caramelize, but they cook and get soft. And once those get soft, I'll come back and we will start adding the seasoning to the jambalaya, and we'll go from there and get this thing completed. Welcome back to Cooking with Coop. As y'all see, I have my buddy Mason here. He's my next door neighbor, my little buddy. We love to ride in the side-by-side together, don't we? You like to ride in the side-by-side? Yeah. All right, well, he's going to help me tell y'all what we're going to put in here seasoning-wise. As I told y'all, I've got the sausage and the chicken and all that sauteing over here. While I was off camera, I added 2 big tablespoons of minced garlic and added that to it. As you see, I've got it over here sauteing good, and now we're going to add all the seasonings. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to add 3 cans of diced tomatoes, and we don't drain them. We're going to just add the tomatoes, the juice and all, and that's going to get us a good base going. After the tomatoes, I am going to, in just a minute, I'm going to put a little tomato paste in there to give us a little more tomato flavor. I'm going to add about 4 tablespoons of a Cajun spice. This is a Zatarain's Cajun spice. I'm adding that in. Make sure it all comes out of there. I'm going to add about a teaspoon of thyme. So a teaspoon of thyme goes in. I'm going to add a teaspoon of oregano. So a teaspoon of oregano. I'm going to add another teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Make sure all that gets out. I'm going to add a half a teaspoon of red pepper flakes. Put that in there. And that's Mason's little brother Mac in the background. And then I'm going to add about a tablespoon of coarse ground black pepper. See that in there? Look at that, Mason. There you go. And what we're going to do is we're going to stir that all around. I'm going to put a little Worcestershire sauce in it. And we're going to stir that all around, and we're going to let that simmer for about 10 minutes before we add the chicken broth and the rice. So when we come back, we'll be finishing this jambalaya. We'll be back in a few minutes. Can tell them bye. Yeah. Welcome back to Cooking with Coop. It's time now to add the chicken broth and the rice to our mixture. So what we're going to do is we're going to add about probably about 8 cups. This is a pretty big pot I'm using. So we're going to add about 8 cups of chicken broth to the mixture. And what we're going to do is we're going to add those 8 cups, and then, and let me get this other, there's about 4 cups and I assume 32 ounces, so I'm going to add about 8 cups of chicken broth, and that is going to give us the juice that will allow us to add the rice then. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that come back to a simmer, and then I'm going to add 3 to 4 cups of rice. I'm not very good at doing recipes, so I'm just kind of adding it as I think what we need. I think we need about 4 to 5 cups of rice. I'm going to put that in there when it comes back to a simmer, and I'm going to cut it down to a medium low, and I'm going to cover it with a cover, and I'm going to let that simmer for about 20 minutes. After that, I will add our shrimp, let it cook for about 5 more minutes, 7 minutes maybe, and then guess what? That jambalaya will be ready. So when I get back, we'll be probably serving the jambalaya. Welcome back to Cooking with Coop. The jambalaya is ready. As you see, I've served up a bowl here. It's nice and thick. It's got a good tomato Cajun flavor to it. I got a big pot here, so we're gonna have to call the neighborhood to eat tonight. We're gonna have a jambalaya to finish our meal. I'm a little lazy tonight. I didn't cook a dessert, but I do have a strawberry cake from Sugar E's Bakery. Mary Jennifer Russell is a real good friend of mine, married one of my best friends from New Albany, so I'll give them a little shout out. So if you're ever in New Albany or all around, they sell cakes everywhere, so get you a cake from Sugar E's. All of them are really good. I like the strawberry especially good, so we're gonna have that tonight. We have our good friends here, they're gonna eat with us tonight. So Brock and Brandy Reynolds are here, and big shout out to them. And Mason's parents, Chelsea and Jonathan, they left. Mason was getting a little fussy there, ready to go, and Mac is a really young baby, and so they went on home. But look, glad y'all joined us tonight. We're going to try this jambalaya. It's a little spicy. I might need to cut back on the cayenne pepper next time, but we're going to have this and then have us a piece of cake, and we're going to keep getting bigger.